Okay, let's talk about Mara stock and Bitcoin, but first Bitcoin to get a better understanding of what we can be looking at on Mara stock. So, to get started, I'm very much focused on support right now than continuation to upside, right? I want to make sure support is healthy, what signs we have of support and how low it can actually go without it invalidating itself, at least based on my charts. So, guys, remember everything I say in this video is just what I'm doing. I like to share with you guys what I'm doing. Please do your own research and due diligence. But before we jump into Mara stock, um, we finally came down into this red accumulation area. Now, I did not accumulate because if we have enough momentum, and I've approached these retracement areas very similarly in so many other times this year and even last year, and I gave a lot of good examples in the past. But if we have enough momentum to hit it, we have enough momentum to further extend into this before we could potentially see a bottom in the price, at least in my opinion. So what I'm going to do now, because we were able to hold a lower high and create another low from this previous swing low. So if you guys remember, as I draw this for you guys, if you guys remember, I kept saying, and I did a video on this. I don't know if it was like two or three chart planning videos ago, but I accumulated some short-term longs here with IBIT. Here it is, the closing transaction. So I made over just a little over $290 on that overnight swing trade. I closed it yesterday because I kept saying, I didn't keep saying it, but I said it many times in that video, that if the price does not go directly down in order for me to complement IBIT with BitU, the thing I'm going to do is sell, right? I said if we go up into short-term resistance, represented by this orange fib retracement, which is from the swing high down to the swing low at the time, we broke into it. So I just sold out of that short-term long and locked in a small profit, just about 300 on it overnight on that one. And now I'm waiting to take another short-term trade. So if you guys are curious about how I'm still trading Bitcoin without taking short-term trades, if you look back like a week and a half ago or so, there's a strategy video. I do a simple breakdown on my core positions and my short-term positions, how I manage them. So if you want to check that out, and there will be more videos coming out soon breaking down how I actually approach the core positions and a little bit more detail on the short-term positions as well. But when it comes to, again, short-term longs, I want to see this fib area in red get extended. Now I got this, just like I did in front of you guys just now, this extension, this bearish extension for a search of support is from the swing high, which is all-time high at the moment, down to the low that it created. At the time, it was the only low, lower than this one, and then we had a push higher, topping out right here. So we had technically it's the second lower high, and then it gives us this area. So this area overlaps very nicely. There's some imbalance here. If you guys look at it on like the 2 or even the 4-hour candles, you guys can mess around down your own charts, but there's some imbalance there. It's overlapping nicely with it. The extension overlaps nicely with the 0.5 retracement at 117.5k basically, and then the 0.618 at 115.4k. So the idea here is that with the current momentum and this being low, it's enough. It broke into the retracement, but if we have enough momentum to briefly break into it, we can later on see a continuation to the downside. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to leave all that on there because I like to look at it for notes in the future. But so far, this is the next short-term retracement. The 0.5 at 123,000 overlaps just about nicely with the 120 day moving average on this hourly candle chart. So what I'm looking at here is I want to see the price come down further within this red area for me to really want to open up some new short-term longs. The idea here is that, well, we can still see a rally. We can still see a little bit of a rally into a little bit of a higher price, but it can potentially find resistance to come down lower. So what I want to see is these swing highs right here. I want to see the price break over it and have small fluctuations holding micro retracements within each small rally. But as it happens, if it happens, I will give you guys updates on it, and I'll most likely just post it on the Discord right away. And then if I open up a trade, I'll let you guys know, so you can stay updated on at least what I'm doing if you're curious. But the idea here is that we can still see a little bit of a higher price, still holding lower highs. This is short-term resistance, but the idea is that we're going to be coming down within this area is what I'm looking for at the moment. So with this low right here, with this low, it also didn't really extend the RSI to the bottom side. So it's still trading within discount, but it has not maxed itself out. So this, with just the brief dip into this area, and then with the current structure that exists, giving us this overlapping support, and we have some imbalance. This one's super clear on the hourly, so like 116k. That one looks really interesting. But the idea here is that we're seeing some weakness. If we can see the price continue some of that weakness to around 118 or 117 to 118 will be really good for me to want to really open up some longs, short-term longs. But as of right now, I'm going to keep monitoring this chart and keep you guys updated on this. So as of right now, no opened short-term positions with Bitcoin. Rather, it's BTC, BitU, or IBIT. I'm waiting on a more confident setup. So I want to see this area max itself out more, or some bullish confirmation indicating that we can break this swing high. So those are the two scenarios. This one be my ideal scenario. Again, even if tomorrow Bitcoin is in the green, it does not mean that it will just go straight up. It means that we can just be trading within short-term resistance. So, caution is in play if you're very optimistic for higher prices in the short term. We are forming a downtrend, as you can see. So be very cautious, in my opinion. Focus on position sizing if you do take longs, and focus on those SLs. But I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to chill and see if the price comes down into this area. So now with Mara stock, my opinion has not changed with Mara stock. I'm waiting to see if we actually are going to be done with this take profit area. So if you guys are new, basically, I like to use on not just on Mara, but a ton of other charts. I like to use red as an accumulation. So that's my color coding for that. So we had an accumulation point here, and then we either saw value gaps or take profit extensions. So basically we had an accumulation here, take profit here. We had two chances to accumulate within this red price zone, take profit, this extension area, and then I gave you guys another accumulation zone. So the point of this accumulation zone is simple, it's because we are forming this uptrend, and every uptrend has an invalidation point. So this yellow line down here, and it still holds true at the moment. We haven't actually made a new high. As you can see, it's all the way up here to 2150, and we haven't done that yet. So this invalidation point still holds valid. It's at basically $13.45 to $13.50. If we break below that, then the uptrend is invalidated, and we can potentially close the gap to much lower prices. But that didn't happen. The accumulation area held strong, and we went straight up into this extension area for take profit, which I gave you guys ahead of time. This was drawn out when we were still trading within this red zone. So I also said ahead of time, I wouldn't be super greedy. Just because we break into this blue area does not mean we're just going to stretch through it aggressively very easily. Take profit at $20 is very important, but you can also leave some exposure, but locking in profits. I mean, you earned it. If you accumulated and we hit $20, you earned it. It's up to you if you want to take your profits or not. But as of right now, basically, I'm waiting to see if this area is actually going to hold to be extended more, or if we're just going to see the price come down aggressively. So the way I'm doing this is quite simple. We have a retracement area. So this is from the swing low down here up to the current swing high, or the the high within the structure, and that tops out at like 2095. So the idea here is that if we see some weakness, I'm paying close attention to this retracement area because it could be an area for Mara stock to consolidate, and then from there I really want to see where the RSI is at. So I'm just waiting to see what it looks like. So if we come down, if we consolidate within this area, there is a potential for a short-term long trade. So if the price comes down, and this is to be very conservative, because we can see if Bitcoin starts to like show any weakness, it can really amplify in Mara stock if a lot of that hype starts to flee the market. But basically, they say we come down to 1750, for example. So that's past the 0.5 retracement at 1778. What I'm looking for is a short-term trade just up into this short-term resistance, currently an estimate. So around 1920, take profit, because yes, we could continue higher, but the possibility is much more high. It's a lot more high to potentially see just a lower high form here and a downtrend, right? And this can either be, it can be a simple head and shoulders pattern forming with the price wanting to move down more. As you can see, it can form one very, very easily. But the idea is that I don't want to be super greedy with Mara stock right now, because at the end of the day, we already hit the primary $20 take profit. We still have the possibility to go higher, but this is where position sizing really matters. Now, if we factor in, just like we got this retracement accumulation, this one, if we use this one more time, right? If we use this one more time, we can see from the bigger picture, we can see that the price can very easily come down because we already hit take profit. There's strong resistance here. It's just important not to be hopeful, focus on position sizing. And if you had your profits, you earned it, why not take it? But this shows that the price can easily come down and trade back within this accumulation area. There seems to be a lot of value here where the price likes to hold at. So the idea is that we can see fluctuations with a possibility of a short-term long here, but I'll keep you guys updated on that for a little bit of a trade. And then there's a shorting opportunity within that short-term estimated resistance, which will change as the price continues to fluctuate. But that's a shorting opportunity for the price to come down into this area, so around like 1550 conservatively, and then we can see it trade within that area once again like this. But this will be there's a lot of value here in my opinion. So what I'm looking for is the price now, since we already hit this area, for us to start working our way down. But I'm being patient. I don't want to just short it yet, because we're still holding here. We haven't actually broke micro support. I mean, we have a low here, a low here. We're still above this ascending resistance, which is acting as a little bit of a support. But I want to see if the price wants to go higher or not. If it comes down and we find some support here, we just got to see if the short-term resistance holds, and then that can be a confirmation for a little bit of a short trade. So I want to wait for bearish confirmation for a short trade. As of right now, I'm just going to let the price do its thing. No positions, no new positions on Mara. I'm just going to let it do its thing again. It can extend higher, which is why I want bearish confirmation first. And that's, again, starts with the price potentially finding support within this zone. And then I'll have a new short-term resistance where I would like to short at. And, no more than like I don't know, 10 to 15 contracts will be a pretty good amount of exposure just for a little bit of a trade. And then with like a week out expiration, if this is where I'm taking the short with a potential of a lower high, then yeah, like a week long, no more than the following Friday's expiration will be pretty good for me. And then take profit starting at 1740, and then we can fill this area potentially. But again, I'm waiting for bearish confirmation, and I'm just going to let the price do its thing. But that's how I'm currently viewing Mara, and that's how I'm currently viewing Bitcoin. If Bitcoin wants to actually extend this area a bit more, Again, short-term resistance averaging 123K. If we see the price come down, then simple. That can actually be enough to influence Mara to come down, potentially into low 18s, but ideally into the 17s. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on this. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.